Joe Musso, pleased to be in studio alongside Jonathan Jones, Bryant McFadden, Patrick Peterson, and sometimes you just got to say wow. This was one of those wow games. We're getting ready to have conversations about Baltimore dominance, and here we are talking about the force that is Josh Allen willing his team back into the game. Mac, first word goes to you here. How is the question?
They never faltered in terms of belief and just the ability to make something happen, starting with their quarterback in Josh Allen. When you talk about Josh Allen, quietly he almost had 400 yards throwing the football, quietly. You look at what he did in extending plays, and then also, too, creating a rhythm with his new wide receiver one in Keon Coleman, because that fourth quarter was unbelievable in terms of the sense of urgency that they displayed and just making things happen. They scored 22 points in the fourth quarter alone. 22 points. You don't have enough possessions to score 22 points, usually in a quarter. But that's what the Buffalo Bills did, and it's something about the Baltimore Ravens. Anytime they play in Buffalo, the inability to make routine plays happen routinely. Remember the playoff game a year ago, a routine throw and catch that did not complete. You look at Derrick Henry, he was unstoppable the entire ball game. But the one key drive, a routine run, fumbled the football, which gave Buffalo life, and they never looked back.
Just the second fumble in 18 games for Derrick Henry as a Baltimore Raven, and this one comes at the worst time, Pat P.
Yeah.
You've been in these moments on both sides of it. For a team to, as B-Mac said, exude no quit and believe in their quarterback and execute in every moment that they needed to, this is the type of stuff that sets course for a team like Buffalo.
No doubt about it. And this is what the Baltimore Ravens have run into throughout the course of Lamar Jackson's career since he's been there. They haven't yet to be able to close out the moments when the moment have arrived. It was in the fourth quarter, up 8, 3 minutes ago, like Max says, a routine play. Derrick Henry is a legend in this league. Cover the ball up with two hands because you know what time it is at that given point in the game. They're coming raking at the ball. So that was a veteran mistake by Derrick, and the Baltimore Ravens have to find a way to start closing out these type of games because they're going to need these wins in the playoffs come January and February.
It's a terrible mistake by Derrick Henry, who otherwise, to that point, was the MVP of the game, right? We're talking about Josh Allen, MVP, right, and how he absolutely put the team on his back. If Derrick Henry holds on to that football, the Baltimore Ravens, more than likely, I mean, the winning percentage was something around 99% in that moment. You know, right before that, Lamar Jackson had a run of about 11 or 12 yards, so he was doing everything that he needed to do. But it is a collective failure as well because you look at a Baltimore Ravens defense, you're going to have to get a stop, right? You were getting the stops on the two-point conversions when Buffalo was scoring. And, you know, throughout the entire game, Baltimore was going down and scoring quickly. Buffalo was also scoring. They just weren't doing it in 4 plays. They were doing it in 11 or 12-play drives. And so a collective failure by the Baltimore Ravens. But unfortunately, anytime that you let a team with championship DNA, and I understand the Buffalo Bills, this iteration of them, they have not made it to the Super Bowl, have not won a Lombardi. No one's going to disagree with me here that they have championship DNA. They know what it takes to close out these sorts of games. Well, you can't give them that opportunity. The Baltimore Ravens did just that.
Buffalo had lost 120 consecutive games, down 15 or more heading into the fourth quarter. Last win was 1967. Wipe it. They do it again here in the year 2025. And we must highlight the play of Josh Allen. 424 total yards, 4 total touchdowns. Gets the ball in his hands at the end of the game, and you know his intentions. We were sitting there having the conversation once again, coming off of last year's ongoing conversation of the MVP.
Sure.
The stats of Lamar Jackson, the moment and the way that Josh Allen elevates in it. This is another example of how he does more with less. And no disrespect to the Buffalo position players, but it's less than Baltimore has. How does Josh Allen continue to maximize the play around him?
I mean, everyone, and B-Mac hit on it, right? It's belief. It's that everyone in that stadium who stuck around, let's be clear, because there are a lot of Buffalo fans who actually left at a moment when I probably would have left as well. Everyone there believes in Josh Allen. They look at him and say, as long as that guy has a pulse, we have an opportunity to win the football game. And nothing was proven more correct than just that. You know, he's had, and we heard in the broadcast, the path that he has traveled. over the years. But now, anytime that you say, who are you taking in a one-game playoff, Josh Allen is said to be the quarterback by a lot of people, a lot of ball knowers, if you will. And so we're going to continue to see that sort of, oh, they can't do this. They're down 8. They're down 14-15. Josh Allen continues to prove everyone right,
wrong, wherever you stand on the situation. Josh Allen is what Josh Allen is, and he ends up with more passing yards in the fourth quarter in this game than 17 quarterbacks had in week one in total.
Wow.
Pat, he's obviously a spectacular talent, and we want to live in this moment. What is it? You get 24 hours to celebrate the win.
Right.
We're moving him forward right now. Is this sustainable to continue to ask Josh Allen to elevate everything around him, or did you see holes in the personnel group here?
No, I believe so, because we saw it last year, what he was able to do with less. And I think this year he has stepping into even a much bigger role in putting the cape on and carrying the team where the team wants to be at the end of the year, which is the Super Bowl. So, no, I don't see no added pressure on Josh. He's just going to continue going out there and doing the things that he's been doing and try to capture another MVP award.
This was the fourth highest scoring game in week one history. It was all sorts of crazy coming down the stretch, Mac, and it's the the Buffalo Bills that stand up and prove the Baltimore Ravens to be, as you pointed it out, and as Pat pointed it out, what they've been time and again before, less than in the biggest moments. Is that a character trait thing? Is that a leadership thing? What do you point to in the frequency in which these things continue to happen to the Baltimore Ravens in the biggest moments?
You know what? I played for a legend in college, Florida State, and Bobby Bowden used to tell us something as a team almost every year. To be a great team, you have to learn how to win. You got to learn how not to lose. That's what great teams do. And that's the thing that is oftentimes overlooked, learning how not to lose ball games. And for some reason, and it wasn't a playoff game, but this was a playoff atmosphere. And of course, the last time we saw Baltimore on the football field, it was in the playoffs, and they learned how to lose.
Yep.
They learned how to lose that ball game against Buffalo. So that was our last image about Baltimore. Now, week one, that you're at the same site as your previous ball game in which you lost in the playoffs, and the same thing kind of happened. So if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan, no question, you know you're going to be a great team once again. You're going to be a playoff caliber team. You're going to have home field advantage potentially. But they want to see you learn how to win these type of ball games where you're playing against good on good, where you're playing against a superstar quarterback like you have, and you're in a playoff atmosphere. Because for you to control that ball game for basically for 4 quarters,
Yeah.
and to lose in that
54 minutes,
fashion, it feels like you lost 2 games. It doesn't feel like it's one loss because you had this game in wraps. So now it's almost like we start reflecting, like, here we go again. Here we go again. And for players, Pat, you know about this. Sometimes when you hear there's a certain trend with a team that you can't beat, and then all of a sudden in the flow of a ball game, you be on the sideline like, oh, man, here we go again. It circulates in your mind. Even though we sit here and say we don't think about it, it comes in your mind because we know what the trend is and what it has been. So for Baltimore, they just got to find a way to get back to the basics. And I know what they did, the same thing we did as fans. Oh, this game is over. They did the same thing because they kind of took their foot off the gas, became a bit relaxed. But guess what Buffalo didn't do? We're pressing. We still believe there's hope because there's time on the clock. So for Baltimore, even when you think the game is over, keep fighting, keep playing with a sense of urgency until there's zeros on the clock because you just don't know in the game of football.
Certain results, they amplify what you already are, and the Ravens have to shake what they are in these types of moments on a night when Lamar dices them up, King Henry's hitting home runs, and your star wide receiver goes for a career high. You walk away with 400 yards and a loss. We got more to come here on CBS Sports HQ in reaction to what was, and maybe some hyperbole here, but an all-timer. I mean, 4th highest scoring game in week one history. Wasted no time getting out of the gates, and this is a result that could have resounding effects when we're talking about seeding down the stretch. Longest home win streak, now 12 in a row for Buffalo.